Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and the chances are you are the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best by husband Evan Carmichael. Mentor me, Evan. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Listen to your heart.
You've got a great idea. You know it can change the world. You know it could have a big impact. You know it could change the fortunes of yourself, your family, the people around you. You've got a great idea. You know it can work. You know it can work. The problem is you don't know if it can work for you. You believe in the idea, but you don't believe in yourself. And so here's what's happened. Why? Well, it's because you've tried and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. And you maybe saw a little bit tiny results, but then you lose the motivation and you stop. You've never stayed with anything long enough to actually let it see results. And so you built up this pattern inside yourself that says, I can't do it. The idea is great, but I can't do it. That's really at the core. If you really believe that you could do it and you really believed in the idea, you'd be doing it and crushing it. So that's the biggest difference. That's why lack of belief is the world's biggest problem. The only thing you're missing is actual sustained momentum against your ideas. Because if you believe that you could do it, you'd be out there doing it. You believe in your idea and how it could change the world, but you don't believe in your own abilities to do it. Now this is where we have to start talking about making decisions with your head versus your heart. So your head only understands a world that exists. Your head is logical, it's practical. And so whatever's been done can be done again, right? It's logical. And so if you've got a job at some company, you know you can make X thousands of dollars a year. That's safe, that's logical, that's practical. You know it can be done. It exists. Other people have done it too. You compound that with people telling you to do the safe thing, right? Go get a job, go take the safe path, go take the safe route. And so there's a lot of outside forces, especially fear generated, that keep you on a small path, keep you on the safe path. And it's not necessarily wrong. It's not malicious. They're not trying to hurt you. It's just fear-based, and so it's small. You never create amazing things when you're living in a fear-based state. And that's what you're doing when you make big decisions with your head. Because your head only understands a practical world that currently exists. Now your heart's a different story. Your heart can create something that's never existed before. Your heart is where all the artists live, all the game changers live, all the people who end up making massive change in the world. That's where they live. They're creating something new. They say, I see something that other people don't see, and I can go create it. That's heart. You're creating something that hasn't existed before. That doesn't make sense. That's not logical. That's not practical. There's nothing to tell you that this could work, but you feel that it can work. That's where I know you guys are at. If you're watching this channel, you're watching this video, that's where I know you're at. The problem is living inside your head instead of living inside your heart. So what happens is you'll have some days where you're living in your heart. You'll have some days where you feel bold, motivated, excited, feeling like you're capable. Like maybe you could actually do this. You'll have some days. I'm gonna switch my hand. My hand's getting tired of holding the video. You'll have some days where you'll actually feel that way. Like maybe I could be the person. I am bold. Maybe you watch a video, maybe you just wake up and you get inspired, you had a great dream, something happens, and you have this moment where you just feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, and say, today's my day, I'm gonna go off and do it and crush it, right? We've all had those moments. But then you wake up the next day and you're back to being in your head, telling yourself, I can't do this, I didn't go to school for this, I don't have the money for this, I don't have the talent for this, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not brave enough or courageous enough for this, right? That's all your head talking to yourself. When you haven't fully decided on something big, what ends up happening is your head and your heart fight. So if you haven't fully decided that you want to start this business, that you want to hit your 10 million subscribers on YouTube, that you want to fill in a blank, your big, crazy, ambitious goal, when you haven't fully decided on it, your head and your heart are going to fight. They should fight. Because it's not logical, it's not safe, it's not practical. If it was, it wouldn't be a big idea. Your big, amazing, bold ideas are not logical, they're not practical, and they're not safe. And so your head is always gonna say, whoa, 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 slow down, this is scary. And most of the time you're gonna listen to your head, and the people around you will tell you listen to your head. What you need to do is fully decide. What you need to do is decide that this is going to happen. that it's not an option anymore, that there's no maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Your heart has to decide the big decisions in your life. Should you go move to that other country or other city? Should you go marry that person or not? Should you go take that job or not? Should you go start that business or not? Big decisions with your heart. And then you use your head to help you figure out the how.
Also, if you want to have more self-belief and more self-confidence, I have designed a free training program just for you, where every day for the next 254 days, I'll send you an email with an unlisted video to help you boost your confidence. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. And so I want you to build the habit of self-belief and self-confidence. It's 100% free. The link to join is in the description below.
And you have an overview of what your book is all about, and you write into them. There's usually a general email address so you can connect with them.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 2, find your core value.
If you want to figure out your purpose, you need to figure out what you stand for as a human. I brought a whole book on it. It's here. It's called Your One Word. It's about finding your most important core value. Who are you? When you understand what your single most important core value is, everything else becomes so much easier. So for me, it's belief, right? Belief is my single most important core value. How does that help? Well, with every decision that I make, it's seen through the lens of belief. Every video content that I make is about belief. It has to be. Every interaction I have, every workshop, every book, every meeting, all of it has to be run through the believe framework, right? The glasses of belief. If I'm hiring somebody onto my team, skills alone aren't enough. It's great that you can write copy. Do you believe in entrepreneurs? It's a big difference. So when you understand your core value, everything else becomes clearer and you're less likely to follow what other people want you to do. Everybody around you, they have a goal for you. Even if it's well-intentioned, they have opinions on what you should do with your life. Everybody around you, this is what you should do with your life. Everybody has an opinion. You don't know which way to go. If you don't know which way to go, it's because you don't know what you stand for, because you're standing on quicksand. But when you understand your one word, your who, your most important core value, it's like you're standing on a rock that nobody can push you from. So how do you figure that out quickly, right? I mean, this is 200 something pages. Let's boil it down super quick for you. You want to think about all the people that you love, your favorite teacher, what you loved about your parents. Think about your favorite musician, your favorite band, your favorite song, your favorite movie, your favorite book, all your favorite things. The thing that when you are around, consuming it, reading it, being with them, it makes you feel bold, alive, amazing, confident, unstoppable, right? We've all had those moments. It's just not consistent enough yet. We're gonna make it for you. It's just not consistent enough yet. And so write down a list of 5 to 10 things that make you come alive. Again, people, your favorite teacher, movies, all of those things that make you, that you love, like you could get lost spending time with them or reading them or listening to them. Then write down 3 keywords that describe each of them. So your favorite teacher, why did you love Mr. Jones? It's not because he taught you grade 4 math, right? There was something else about Mr. Jones that you love. Why do I love Seabiscuit, the movie? Because it's about an oversized jockey and an undersized horse and an owner that has no money and all of these things, and they all come together. It's believe, right? My parents taught me that I'm Evan Castrilli Carmichael and I can do anything that I believe that I can, right? And so through all the things that I love, believe is the common thread. What is it for you? You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. It doesn't have to take you years of work. Just write down all of the people and the things that you love, 3 keywords for each. Like, do this. This is important. Just do it today. It'll make a huge difference in your life. It's worth it. This is the best 15 minutes you can spend in your life. Do it. Pause the video and do it. And then just see what comes up consistently. What word comes up over and over and over and over and over and over again? Chances are that's your one word. That's your who. Then when you discover it, you have to start living that life. So, if my one word is believe, then I got to think, okay, who around me is not believe? What am I doing that is not believe? What projects am I working on that are not believe? And it gives you clarity and forces some tough decisions. And the more unhappy you are right now in your life or business is because you are out of alignment with your one word. If I was doing something that was anti-believe, even if it made tons of money, I'm not going to be happy because it's against who I am. It's against my core value. Same thing for you. If you are unhappy, it's because you are doing things that don't align well with your core value and you don't know what your core value is. So fix it.
Rule number 3. The last one before our very special bonus clip, don't care what others think.
I think it's really important for entrepreneurs to understand where your threshold is of how much crap you could take from other people, how much negativity, how much feedback and criticism that you could take without it impacting your psyche or your self-worth. I think in general as an entrepreneur, you need to be prepared to get a lot of crap, a lot of negativity, a lot of stuff thrown at you. And yes, it's easy to say, don't care what other people think, but understanding what your tolerance level is and where you kind of fit on that spectrum can really help you design the rules so that they're in your favor. So as an example, there's a guy on my team who doesn't handle criticism as well. You know, I'm a lot more comfortable in the uncomfortable where he can bounce around a lot more. He'll be on top of the world, like this is great, and then a negative feedback comes in and it really impacts him hardly, and then the positive one comes in and he jumps back up. And so for someone like him, you can't design as much risk, as much negativity or potential negativity, so you gotta take a safe path up. Where for me, I'm more comfortable in the uncomfortable. I know that eventually something's gonna work out, and I know that at the beginning of any project, it's gonna be rough, that it may not work out, that we're gonna get some criticism. And so I'm more willing to jump all in and play in that field, even though it's painful at the moment, because I know the faster I get through that pain, the faster we're gonna come out the other side. I want that feedback and criticism and negativity as soon as possible so that I can make it better. Better for you, better for me, better for everybody. And so understanding what your tolerance level is of emotional stability, how much you can take from your friends and your family and your customers and your audience and the people watching you before you break, and then being able to play just below that limit. Because you can't just play super safe, because that's not going to make you happy as an entrepreneur. But knowing where your limit is and playing just below it so that it's uncomfortable, it's painful, but you're still going to be able to get through it, I think is really important. That self-awareness, I think is really important as an entrepreneur.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch something and get motivated and just get inspired, you have a 35% chance of actually following through. But when you get motivated and then you actually create an action plan for what you're gonna do, you increase it from 35% to 91% chance of you actually following through. And when you share your plan publicly, that jumps to 95% chance of following through. So I want that for you. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you. The only thing you're missing is momentum. You're a genius. You have great ideas. That idea you have in your head is amazing, can work, can make a lot of money, can impact the world, can serve the people around you. You're a genius. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. You've got Grant Cardone level talent at something. You, even though everybody telling you you can't, nobody's done it in your family before, nobody's done it for your community before, you can do it. You've got it. The only thing, the only thing that you're missing is momentum. You're not doing enough. You're not getting enough results. You're not getting the little wins. The little wins lead to bigger wins, lead to more wins, lead to bigger wins, lead to bigger wins. Momentum. I have a YouTube course that I put out, and once a month I'm in a Facebook group, and we do a live chat with the people who bought the course to help them continue to grow and blow up their channel. And 2 days ago I posted in the group to say, hey, for our next call that's coming up, what do you want to learn? How can I help? We've got this once a month time together, you and me, solo time, like what can I help you with? What topics do you want to learn more about? And you know what the number one response was? The number one response that people voted up was how to stay motivated when you're not getting results. How to stay motivated when you're not getting results. It wasn't a tactical thing. It wasn't how do I fix my thumbnails? How do I fix my intros? What do I title my video? Do you like my color scheme? What topic should I create? How often do I post? How long should a video be? None of that stuff. It's how do I stay motivated when I'm not getting instant early results? And so that's what we're going to talk about next week on the call when we get on. And I think back to when I first started. And there's lessons here for you, not just if you're interested in YouTube, but whatever you're doing. When I first started, I started speaking before I started doing YouTube. And I remember I would go and do a speaking gig, and my first one, only 3 people showed up. And I would feel such a high after the speaking gig. Like, man, what this matters. This is amazing. I just helped some people. And then I'd wake up the next day,
and feel no energy, no momentum. It's like, man, I don't believe in myself anymore. Who am I to go and do this? All of a sudden, the question, the doubt, the insecurities just take over again. Like, where was the Evan from yesterday? And so what I did was, after every time I did a presentation, I asked for feedback, and people would email me their feedback, and the best feedback I put into a PowerPoint file. I put into a PowerPoint file, and I'd watch this presentation every morning that I made, super simple, and put it to a music soundtrack that I like, and it would just be instant, over and over and over again, all the feedback that I got, to remind myself that the work that I did matters. Because yesterday it felt amazing because I was out there speaking and helping people, but today it doesn't feel real anymore. It's crazy how that can happen overnight. And so I watched the PowerPoint file every morning to remind myself that the work that I do matters, that this is happening, that even if I've only touched 3 people, I touched 3 people. It helped them. It was meaningful to them. And I have to keep going, right? It's the small wins. The momentum. The only thing I was missing was momentum. The same thing for you. When I first started on YouTube, the first video that I put up was on Walt Disney. And my mom commented on it, and my sister commented on it, and then one other random person that I don't know commented on it in the first year. So think about it. The first year of me having my YouTube channel up, my first video, 3 comments on that video. And one was my mom and one was my sister, so only really 1 comment from a stranger, someone I didn't know, on my first video after 1 year of it being live. Isn't that crazy? And so what I would do is, I'd look at my comments every day, and even though they'd be the same comments because I wasn't getting very many, even see my mom's comment or my sister's comment or that one random dude's comment, knowing that, hey, it touched that one random dude. I have to keep going. I gotta keep moving it. Now I'm spoiled. You know, every day I still look at comments as part of my daily routine, as a reminder to myself. This stuff, the beach views, that kind of stuff, that doesn't motivate me. That doesn't motivate me. It's fun being here. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have the kind of business that can take me here and travel around the world and do speaking gigs and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. But the thing that gets me up, that motivates me, that fires me up, is knowing that people are consuming my content and it makes a difference.
If you want to know how to make the 2021 the best year ever, check out the video right next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. I will see you there. Continue to believe.
Maybe he's not happy. Maybe that's not his ambitions. Now, you might say that actually served him. That is something that he should have gone down, right? Every road leads to somewhere.